How is it going, everybody? This is RPT. I know it's been a really long time since you've actually have seen my face making an actual football related video aside from my Friday questions and answers type videos. And I apologize for that. Just haven't really had any ideas to make any type of video since football season's been over. And I apologize for that. But as you see in the video title, this is going to be my 2013 Titans draft preview video. Just to give you a little bit of my insight on the upcoming draft for the Tennessee Titans. Just say who I believe they should get, what our biggest needs are, what we should look at per round. And I took a few notes here pre this video, so if I look down a little bit, that's why. And this might be one of the few videos I make pre-draft for the Titans. I might make a few more, I don't know, but after this, I'm going to do a bunch of MLB preseason predictions, so hope you're looking forward to that. And let's just get started here. And I think we all are pretty much set, and we all know as a fan base what our biggest needs are. Those two biggest needs are cornerback and offensive guard. And looking at the first round, I think we get one of those two positions, either cornerback or guard. And obviously, you want to get the best players at those positions, and hopefully one of the best players at those two positions will fall to us. And obviously, and this really makes me happy as an Alabama fan, is going to be either Chance Warmack or Dee Milliner, and I believe wholeheartedly that those are going to be one of the two guys that we pick. God willing, they fall to our draft pick, which is 10th. And if they both fall to us, that could be a really hard decision. If it was me picking, I would probably pick Dee Milliner over Chance Warmack, just because our corner need is very, very, very muchly needed. And I think a big part of our offensive line struggles last year was injuries. I mean, I know we do need to add depth to that offensive line and better players just overall. But I think the biggest part of the struggle definitely is because of injuries last year. And I think people overlooked that aspect of the problem. But, I mean, the ownership might think differently, and if they both fail, they could pick Chance Warmack, and I'd be perfectly fine with that. But personal preference would probably be Dee Milliner over Chance Warmack, because, honestly, if we had Dee Milliner and Jason McCourty as our two corners, that would be one of the sickest corner tandems in the whole entire division. So that'd be really very sick. But like I said, I'd be happy with either Chance Warmack or Dee Milliner. So that's the first round there. In second round, I would get definitely the position that we don't get in the first round out of the two positions, was our corner and offensive guard. So in my case, what I'd be saying is we get Dee Milliner in the first round, so go after offensive guard in the second round. And there's a bunch of guys I believe that'll be very, very good linemen that'll be available in the second round, which could be Barrett Jones, another guy from Alabama. Wouldn't that be awesome? Get two guys from Alabama. Just Alabama's just feeding NFL teams. But also guy Larry Warford from Kentucky, a very underrated guy, very good guard, big guy. I believe he'd be really, really good on our offensive line. And also, like I said, if we get Chance Warmack or a guard in the first round, definitely need to go after a corner in the second round. There's a cornerback position is quite deep in this draft, so I believe we could get a really, really good, talented cornerback in the second round. A few guys I looked at was Jonathan Banks from Mississippi State, a very good corner, and also Jordan Poyer, an underrated guy. I got to see him at the Senior Bowl from Oregon State. So either of those two guys I think would be very, very good pickup in the second round. So first two picks in the draft, I really do believe will be guard and corner. And moving in the third round, and after those two positions, we do have flexibility on what we can pick. We have a bunch of needs, and I believe throughout 3 through 7 we will fill those needs. And another need that might be overlooked by a lot of fans is we really, really do need a big, big type running back to run inside the 20s, because Chris Johnson's not that kind of big bruising running back. And ideally, I'm trying to be non-homer as all, but our position needs just exactly fit the script of the Alabama players coming out of the draft. I don't think Eddie Lacy falls to the third round. No way he does, but that's the type of guy that we need. And with that being the case, I could possibly see a guy like Le'Veon Bell from Michigan State, who's a huge guy, 240, very athletic for his size. I could see him possibly falling to the third round. And that'd be, I believe, if that's the case, he falls to the third round, pick him up, snag him like that, because he could be a very, very good running back for us and be very productive within the in the 20s. So, like I said, a big running back. Not necessarily just Le'Veon Bell. I'm sure there's a bunch of running backs out there that are very big, but he definitely completely fits the description of what I'm looking at. And dear God, if Eddie Lacy falls to the 3rd round, please, dear God, snag him up. But also, if our front office isn't looking that direction, which I believe they are, I could see him possibly picking up a interior defensive lineman, because Derek Marks is going to be gone more than likely. And some guys a guy I'm looking at that could fall to the 3rd round is Kawan Short, the defensive tackle from Purdue. Very, very athletic guy, big guy. I believe he could be very good in the NFL. So, like I said, either a big side running back or an interior D lineman. And the positions that I've named off so far are actually very, very deep. I think actually the deepest position in this draft is definitely, without a doubt, defensive lineman. And it's probably one of the best D-line classes I've seen in the last 10 years, maybe. It's ridiculous, but I mean, defensive line isn't necessarily our biggest need. I mean, a bunch of young guys in the front 7, but that's not our biggest concern. But you always would like to add depth if possible. Moving into the 4th round, we need as much secondary help as we possibly can. Like I said, our front 7 is pretty good, but our secondary, man, too inconsistent, misses way too many tackles. Just overall, I think the worst secondary in the AFC South. So if we already got a corner, might as well go ahead and add another safety. And 4th round guys, you could possibly see Tony Jefferson from Oklahoma, TJ McDonald from USC, two big guys that I believe could become very good safeties in the NFL. So I'd love to see us snag up a safety in the 4th round. And some might disagree with me. I mean, we could either we could swap these two positions for round 4 and 5, but I mean, this is something they could harp on for minutes and minutes and hours even. It's the quarterback position. I mean, I know a lot of our success has been deteriorated because of the quarterback position. And I've been a Jake Locker supporter ever since he's arrived in Tennessee. And I believe he could be a really good quarterback down the road, and he has all the potential in the world. But thus far, he hasn't really lived up to his potential. And I'm hoping, praying that last year's disappointing season for him was solely because of the shoulder injury. And I'm hoping once he gets completely healed from that, he had the surgery to repair it in the offseason. Once he gets completely healed, hopefully he'll be back at 100% and steadily progressing and becoming the quarterback that we hoped and believed he would become. But that doesn't mean we can't add depth. I mean, Matt Hasselbeck, his times are definitely shortly lived. Coming up soon, we could possibly not see him in Tennessee much longer. So we do need a good second string quarterback behind Jake Locker in case he goes down, which he's shown that he very easily can because of the shoulder. Hopefully that's not the case going forward. And I mean, even adding a second guy that could end up developing into a pretty good quarterback in the future. So 4th, 5th round guys I could see going at EJ Manuel, Landry Jones, but like we all know, the quarterback position in this draft is very, very thin. The worst quarterback draft I've seen in a very, very long time. But I mean, if you get in that 4th, 5th round pick, you want to either get a safety or quarterback. If you see a guy in the 5th round like EJ Manuel or Landry Jones still out there, I definitely say snag them because they have potential. EJ Manuel looked very, very good in the Senior Bowl. Landry Jones not so much, but we all know what they did in college, and they have the tools to develop into quarterbacks, hopefully good quarterbacks in the NFL down the road. Man, my back hurts. Moving on to the 6th round, we all know about Jared Cook. He's an athletic freak. He, I believe, can be a very good tight end, given the quarterback productivity he needs to put up good numbers, because if he was in a place like New England, man, Jared Cook would be having field days every single Sunday. But I mean, he did get injured, and hopefully he will be back next year 100%. And that's not definitely a guaranteed thing, but the two, Craig Stevens and Taylor Thompson, haven't shown to live up to their potential just yet. Haven't proved they can be starters in the NFL. So late in the draft, I could possibly see us going after an athletic tight end that can put up the numbers through the air. And I mean, in the 6th round or 6th or 7th round, you can see a guy like Philip Lustenkirchen from Auburn out there. You could snag him up, and the guy, I promise you, when healthy, he reminds me of a little bit smaller, but he definitely reminds me of Rob Gronkowski. This guy has amazing hands, the best hands out of any tight end in this draft. He's built pretty much just like Rob Gronkowski. He's probably just as fast. I mean, just watch him play. He acts just like him. He's a clone of Rob Gronkowski. So, and the reason he's fallen this late is because he was injured all of last season. But he's proved, and hopefully at the combine he looks good. Well, actually, hopefully he doesn't look good, so he falls to the 6th round. But either way, I believe he'll fall to the 6th round, 6th or 7th round, because of last season. But he proved to be very, very good. He didn't put up the numbers that he possibly could elsewhere because of the terrible quarterback play at Auburn. And like I said, he was injured last year. But even his sophomore, junior season, he didn't put up the numbers that he's capable of because of the terrible quarterback play at Auburn. But Philip Love's-Kirkin, if he's up there 6th, 7th round, I'd love to see us snag him up. And then the 7th round, like I said, maybe just like the other positions, we could swap them up, tight end or linebacker. Well, I just gave it away. Either 6th or 7th round pick, I'd love to see us add another linebacker. And the linebacker class for this draft class is actually pretty deep. And there's a bunch of guys I could see out there in the 7th round I'd love to snag up. I mean, we do have a really good front 7 that has tons of potential, but they're very young. And when you have a very young front 7, and which is sometimes undisciplined and injury prone, it's always good to add quality depth. And I could see a guy like Bruce Taylor from Virginia Tech that could. He was actually really good in college early on. Then he got hurt, and last year he didn't really have a good year. But he has potential, all the potential in the world. A big guy, so I'd love to see a guy like Bruce Taylor be selected by the Titans late, and just any linebacker that provides quality depth for our front 7. So, man, that's about it. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you want the Titans to assess in this year's draft. Let me know who you hope they select, and let me know what positions you believe are our biggest positions of need, and which positions, like quarterback, like I stated, you think we should stay away from. So let me know all that in the comment section below. Let me know what you thought about my video and about what I said. Have a great day. Roll Tide, go Sox, and go Titans to you. And please be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. See you guys later.